everyone. Hello, brethren who are watching. Please don't be surprised. For you not to be surprised, call your neighbors, share this video, share this link. Today we have Minister Trust. I'll be telling you why I'm here in a short moment, but please do share the link, share the video, share the live, please, on your Facebook and on your Instagram stories, on your Twitter, especially Twitter. Please tweet about this live interview. We'll be most gracious and happy to see you. Inviting your friends and family. Okay, I'm waiting for a few individuals who should be here. So Lindiwe NG Mantini, Unjani, how are you? What are you expecting, Maria? Hey, I'll tell you in a moment. Go and invite your friends right now and bring them here. Bezobona or bawe kuzoona, for them to come and see what's happening. Maria, you're expecting Maria? Yeah, see wonders. So in a few seconds, I'll then start and interview our dearest and great brother, Trust Ngwenya. So give us 1 more or 10 more seconds, and then we go. So I see a welcome from the Inspire Nations. Thank you, Lindiwe, for sharing. Yes, thank you, Inspire Nations, for this platform, for artists like us. We appreciate you. So we are live on Radio 54, African Panorama, Inspire Nations. So we're live today. We are interviewing Minister Trust Ngwenya. I said that right. So, so today, most of you are wondering why you aren't seeing Maria. I might be the new Maria. You might never know. No, I'm just kidding. So today, my sister Maria is not available. She will tell you why she's not available. But I'm privileged and honored to stand in her place and interview our dearest brother, Trust Ngwenya. Trust, greet your audience and just say hi so that they know you are the real Trust, not the fake Trust.
Hi everyone. It's good to be here. I'm so excited and happy, and thank you so much to Inspire Nations for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Yes, Trust.
And thank you, Mr. Innocent Lunga, for being the host of the show today.
Yeah, I'm a bit shy right now, so yes, Trust, welcome to this platform, and we're looking forward to learn from you, learn a lot of things from you. Yeah, mostly, I'm looking forward for you to also inspire other worshippers and ministers out there, because I directly benefited from your ministry in 2003 January when I met you. So we'll be speaking more of that. That's why this interview it's an honor for me to actually be interviewing you, because I'm actually a direct beneficiary of your ministry. So we bless God for that.
Thank you.
So to you know the question that always starts. Tell us, who is Trust Ngwenya? And you know, is Trust Ngwenya Sutu? Who is Trust? Tell the audience. Who Trust Ngwenya?
Who Trust Ngwenya is this gentleman right here. That's the first thing that you have to know. I am Trust Ngwenya. Okay. Trust was born and bred in Bulawayo, in a family of three. I've got two sisters. I'm the only Buji, the only brother. Yes, and I was born some years ago. Really, it's been spent like more than 35 years ago. So yes, I've been around. And Trust Ngwenya is a Christian, born again, and a lover of the King Jesus. I'm so grateful that he saved me on the 1st of May 1996. And
Wow.
from then, I've been following the Lord. I love him. And also, I am a worship leader, as you know. I thank God for the people that He brought into my life who helped me see and understand the calling over my life. I'm so passionate about worship. I'm so passionate about musicians. I'm so passionate about God Himself and having Him revealed to the world and to the nations. So it's Charles Ngwenya. Of course, I've got my side jobs. I'm actually computer systems engineer by profession, but I'm actually working as an optical lab technician. But yeah, all the same, I am a lover of the Lord, and I thank God for taking me this far. Yes.
Wow. Audience, you heard for yourself who Trust is. I mean, one of the questions that popped up as you were actually telling us about yourself is, did you start in 1996 to your music ministry? So tell us about your music ministry. Did you start soon after you got born again? What happened? What happened? What took you to the place of, you know, you knowing that you are God's minister, especially on the keyboard, and how did it? Just tell us a bit on that.
Well, that was a really long process, you know.
Okay.
Because first of all, what happened is that before I even got saved, I had some of my cousins who usually went to this. If I'm not sure if many of you are aware of what they call teen missions. So they
Mm,
would go there, evangelize, and then come back. So this other time when they came back having learned this other type of music, which is our own African acapella in Bulu, you know.
mm,
And so they called me in and me be excited. Like how it is you just love being around your brothers, being around your friends. So I went to sing with them. And the more I sang with them, the more I really got to realize how much I enjoyed doing that. And then I gave my life to the Lord Jesus. And after that, we sang the the American, whatever, acapella. We started doing the English style songs. You know, we went on, and then during the time there was a team that used to really inspire so much. It's called Echoes of Met. So that's where I joined the band. With the instruments and things like that. I'll tell you, my heart just blew up. I just enjoyed every moment of it. And then I listened to new musicians, including the old Brian Sivalot, the Freedom Senwise, Ron Kinoli, and all those guys. And I really enjoyed it. But as I went on the journey, I began to ask myself some questions. Actually, am I really supposed to do this, or I'm doing this because of my brothers, or because I'm supposed to do this? And I remember getting to prayer as a teenager and asking the Lord and saying, Lord, if this is not meant for me, please just tell me or take it away from me. And I remember there is some speech that I know. I am sure you know it in Magwego. There is this what we call to prayer. There
yes,
was
yes.
this tree. I heard the voice of God. I heard the Lord confirm to me, and from that moment onwards, I never turned back. And I got to learn the keyboard. As you're talking about the keyboard, keyboard became one of my greatest passions. Of course, it wasn't the first instrument that I learned. I learned the drums first, and then the keyboard. I was taught by a man called Sid Moore. Sid Moore, it's been years since I saw him. he actually taught me one key, and I held on to that and to learn all the other ones by
Mm.
myself using, like different uh, platforms and resources that we have. So yeah, that is how I got into this whole music ministry.
Wow. Your music journey. I mean, it's very interesting. One of the interesting things that I caught from your music journey is you started off with Iskatamia Imbube. So tell
Yes,
us,
yes.
why didn't you pursue Iskatamia Imbube? Is it because there were a lot of people doing Skatamia, or is it because somehow God knocked on your heart and was like, no, that's not for you? What happened? Tell us.
Yeah. I actually think that interview was just an introduction for me, introducing me into the music ministry. But then I really felt that that's not where the Lord was really directing me. The Lord was directing me to this worship ministry, which I love so dearly. I could do Mbube was just amazing when we started off, but then over time, I was like, no, this is not me, and I had to find myself, find what I was all about. Yeah.
Wow,
Mm.
wonderful. So, in your music journey, tell us about your inspirations. Is there any particular inspiration? Who was your first inspiration? How did inspiration actually, progress from there? Tell us about your
Okay.
inspiration.
All right. Musically, really, when I started off, okay, I'm just going to be saying it that way because those are the people who actually um, really brought me to a place where I really got to understand what it was all about and how I was supposed to do it. I was inspired by Ron Kenoli. I was inspired by Alvin Slaughter. Hillsong. Hillsong was just it for us during those days. And then I was introduced to Kate Franklin, to Donnie McClurkin, and we used, of course, listen to Brian Swallow, listen to Derek Nzimande,
Yes.
there were
So,
even the Rebecca Lopez, Dala,
mm,
those guys, they would sing and, you'd feel yourself being taken to some places. And then they came the Michael W. Smith, and
yes.
it was just amazing. Yes. It just reminds me, today I had to sing one of, I think it's Freedom Sengwayo. The song says, the Lord, no, it's Itan Madima.
Oh,
The
okay.
Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down. That
Mm,
song.
mm,
I'm in love with my Jesus.
mm,
Yes, those were the guys who inspired me. And also Echoes of Mercy, the team
mm.
that I was working with, they actually inspired me a lot. The songs that they used to sing and how they would turn even the traditional hymns and turn them into songs that we, the younger generation at that time, could really understand and worship God using. So those were the inspirations that I actually was surrounded by a lot of inspiration around me. Yes. And also the Lord Jesus, how it is when you encounter him for the first time, I really wanted to show him how much I loved him. And the best way I could do that was through singing and worshiping him. And which reminds me, some of the days I would sing on stage and would find myself crying. I was young, find myself crying and I wouldn't even know what to do,
Mm.
but it really inspired me. It actually pushed me. I sang because I loved him, because I wanted him to know it, So the Lord is number one. He is key. Yes.
Wow. I mean, you said a lot of inspirational stuff there in terms of I remember Echoes of Mercy, but
Yes.
I mean, it's not my interview today. It's your interview. So, you know,
It's fine.
yeah. So before I go on further, just to view the comments, Lindiwe and Jimantini, I welcomed you, and Lindiwe asked a specific question on why Maria was not there. So, in case for those who are joining now and don't know what's happening, did I fire Maria, or what happened. I'm standing in for Maria. I can't say just, but I'm hopeful. You guys should actually vote that I, be employed by Inspire Nations. Just vote or do something there. Just write in the comments there and say, please, employer. Anyway, or sorry, Inspire Nations, but sometimes you have to. Kuthiwa ubamba amandla ukuthi uthole umsebenzi ubatha nechisimba ukuthi wane basa. So
Right.
yeah, so Mzingaye Moyo, I answered Mzingaye Moyo. So Mzingaye says greetings, trust, and then
Hi,
and then Francisco Modlani, yeah, Modlani, umxolele if I didn't pronounce correctly. Francis actually says, where is it? Oh, he says, keep pushing and praying, trust.
Thank you so much for doing that.
So, Inspire Nations, the radio station that employed me for this moment, actually said, wow, I did not know you play other instruments. I always see you behind the keyboard. Yes, yeah, you see. Yeah. And then we have Mainube in the house, Kudzai Marova. She says, Kudzai, sorry, Kudzai, I shouldn't say. Kudzai Ngube says, greetings, Minister Trust. I don't know. Probably the way I sense the way she's greeting you, she's saying you owe me money or something. So she's usually ministers' wives, they don't just greet from out of the blue. Yeah. So and then Nonkumbulo Adonis Maduna, she says, wow, powerful minister. Your worship voice is very touching and has depth. I personally agree 2 billion% on that statement. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah. So
appreciate it.
Tell us a bit before we move to the next question. Tell us a bit about your voice. I mean, to us, it sounds so unique. Tell us what really inspires you to sing the way you sing. I mean, with such an excellent and great persona. Tell us.
Wow. Those are huge words. A great and excellent persona. What do those words mean? Okay.
I'll open the dictionary later. Tell us.
All right. Well, I'm actually honored to hear you say that about my vocals and my singing. It's an honor. I actually don't take it lightly. When you know how you really get to see that there are so many people who sing very, very well. At times you see them and you're like, okay, what am I doing in this ministry or in this industry? And then, the Lord always inspires me in this way. We are all unique in our own ways. So it's about finding yourself, finding who you are, and finding your vocal.
True.
It's about being you and become the best of yourself. You're not trying to copy someone else, but you're trying to be you, the best of you. And that is mostly achieved by taking some time, working your gift. And also, for us as Christians, it also involves taking some time in prayer and actually seeking the Lord. You need to really engage the heavens, and get into those gods and find out what exactly is in the heart of the Lord about you. And try to stick to your lane. So many times, when we hear someone else sing some other way, I want to rush to that place. When I hear Todd Dylan, the way he sings, I'm like, okay, let me just go that direction. When I hear Take Sure, I'm like, okay, let me just do that. But no, that's not what it's all about. It's about finding yourself and doing the best in the you that you have at that current point. Yes. So, and also, I think this actually is an addition to my vocal. I always try by all means to sing my heart.
Mm.
I want my voice to express what I'm really saying, you know.
Mm.
You
Mm.
understand? You know, it should go beyond just the perfect vocals or runs and things like that. It should be a direct expression of what my heart is saying to the Lord or what I'm trying to encourage someone else about. So that's where I draw from. I hope it answers the question somewhat. Yeah.
Yes, since you answered the question so well, just you have already drawn the presence of God in this place. Just bless us with a song so that people know what I'm talking about. That voice, that voice. Give us one song, just 2 minutes. Give us a song, and then I'll go into the comments.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to sing one of the songs that I wrote, you know, the one that we have. It's actually on social media and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yes.
In your presence, that's where I belong. In your presence, that's where I am strong. In your presence, that's where I belong. In your presence, in your presence, in your presence, that's where I belong. In your presence, that's where I am strong. Oh, in your presence, that's where I belong. In your presence, in your presence. Where you wish it. Move where you move where you wish it. Better is one day in yours. Better is one day in your cause. Better is one day in yours than thousands elsewhere. Better is one day in your house. Better is one day in your cause. Better is one day in your house than thousands elsewhere. Ebukoneni, 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 bako, ebukoneni, so ebukoneni, ebukoneni, bako. In your presence, that's where I belong. In your presence, that's where I am strong. In your presence, that's where I belong. In your presence, in your presence.
Hallelujah. I had to hold on to my dignity so that I don't break it. Like, oh, glory to you. But
Oh
wow, wow,
my. Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
I think people will agree with me. This is a powerful ministration. Thank you so much, Trust. You know, let me go to the comment section and then we get through the next set of questions, and so that I don't.
Yeah.
I know I wish we could spend the whole session you just singing it, But well, we're here to learn. We're here to learn about you, and also we're here to learn from you. So, in the comment section, let me try and see from where I left. So yes, we've got Mandla Nkosi Dube. Mandla, we all know.
Oh, Mandla.
Yes. So Mandla
Wow, it's
says,
good to have you.
yes, Mandla says, we love you, sir, and we saw you from day one. Look at where the Lord has set your feet from feet now. You are a blessing. He goes on to say, Pastor,
Oh,
just for Ngwenya.
thank you so much, Bishop Mandla.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
the Inspire Nations actually confirms what Mandla said. It says, you are a blessing to the nations. And you talk about the anointing, man. Hey, bengiqinisela ngilapha sithi God. So yeah, so most of the questions were affirming the anointing in your singing, and actually Inspire Nations and Nonkumbulo Adonis Madune were saying you sing your heart.
yeah.
So yes, we've got Rasaki Abion Komalafe. You know your people, and Rasaki actually gives a prayer or emojis, like probably he was praying as you were singing. So and then
Wow.
got I've got Nonkumbulo says powerful, powerful indeed. Actually, and Nonkumbulo and Inspire Nations were enjoying the, you know, we're enjoying the ministration. And then we've got Christine Georgina Malinga.
Yes.
She's greeting Inspire Nations, and also I'm sure she's greeting us as me as the interviewer and you as the interview. She just greeted Inspire Nations, so I guess, which means I'm also part of Inspire Nations. So
Yes.
so tell us, Trust, uh, tell us on your understanding of worship.
Worship.
Yes, what's your briefly tell us what's your understanding on worship.
Okay. Worship for me, it's just life.
Mm,
It's just the way we live. It goes beyond a song. It is my connection to the Lord and my relationship with Him. You know, one inspirational man said, "Worship, praise is when we build Him a house, and worship is when we allow Him in and we dine with Him."
mm,
So for me, worship is more of a love relationship. It's a connection with the Lord.
mm,
It's my relationship, my love relationship with Him. So it takes off from the way that I relate with Him, the way that I live my life, and then the songs actually are an expression of my my adoration also of who He is. Because we would say that worship, we talk of like it coming from being worthy, worthship, like He is worth my love, He's worth my life, He's worth my surrender. He's with everything. He's with everything. Yes. Someone also says that it's taken from that proskuneo word. Okay.
mm,
So many words that are used to really express worship. And then they talk about how a dog would lick its master's feet.
mm,
So for me, it's just throwing myself on him. It's just my whole allegiance being placed on the Lord. So that's worship for me.
mm.
Yeah, I'll leave it there for now.
Wow. I like your description of worship. I mean, we could spend the whole day actually try getting a taste dessert actually of you explaining what worship is. So, do you think
Yeah.
worship is given enough time in church? What's your take on the church and worship? Does the church understand worship, and does the church give worship enough time? What's your take on that?
Well, I actually think it's different with different churches and stuff like that. It depends on what exactly is driving the church that anyone is involved in. Some they want numbers, or the preacher wants to go on stage, and stuff like that, or want people to get excited. So we will do much of those dancey songs. Like, of course, it's praise. Praise is more like part of like the worship, but then we stay there. We don't get into those deep places, in worship, because when you love someone,
Yes.
I'm talking about real love. You can't get enough of the other person.
Mm,
So now I feel sometimes maybe it's because of time, like in this life, we are controlled by time. So you have to be sure with, okay, let's worship for 30 minutes. And then after that, like do whatever and stuff like that. But I feel, some churches are actually doing it very well. Like in some places, you find them, they actually truly express themselves like to the Lord. They pour themselves out to the Lord. And then in some places, you find out, during that time of worship, you're busy worshiping and someone is chewing their gum, or they are busy texting, or they sit down and stuff like that. Now, it actually tells you of the relationship that the person maybe has with the Lord. Someone maybe doesn't really know him in that way, to be really intimate and vulnerable before him. Because in worship, you have to be vulnerable. You have to really pour it all out. Some people do want to do that. In some churches, they think, you are now overdoing it. I'll take an example of my brother Tekshua. I think when he started off, when he would cry, people would be like, "Awi amkoma na we Shema," that guy who cries is now here, type
mm,
thing. That's what they would say about him. But
yes.
it's up and until you have a true encounter with the Lord, then you would
Yes.
know what it means. I like what McDowell would say. He said sometime. He says, some of you don't understand what's happening, but it's because of where he is taking us from. It's because of what he has done for us. Like how much he has loved us. If you understand that, then your levels of worship like go to another level. So it depends on who the particular church is after. Are we after money? Are we after all these other blessings? Or we are after the giver of all the gifts?
Mm,
So
mm,
it's just dependent on different churches, how what exactly drives them. So I think it's, yeah,
yeah.
50-50, yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we could get theologians to debate a lot on why there are church programs, and what the true definition of worship is. But I personally like your definition of worship because I personally benefited from your ministry. So probably for today, I'll just be biased and say, wow, that's a solid explanation on the question on whether churches give time to worship, and your take on worship. I think I'm inspired. That's why this program is called Inspire Nations. So I'm
Yeah, yeah.
inspired. Yeah. So tell us about your any of your upcoming projects. Tell us what are you up to? What music, and then probably that will set the stage for the next question. What's your next project?
Oh, okay. I'm actually currently working on a single again. Of course, I'll be working on an album soon, but there is a single that I'm working on. I'm sure it will be out uh, by the end of December. Let me just put it there. We're still working out the whole instrumentation arrangements and things like that. But this time, it's not going to be a worship song. You're going to really dance to this one, I'm telling you. There's going to be a lot of praise and a lot of, like sweating when it comes to the song. So that's what we are working on. And it may be coming out end of December. So just watch out for that. Yeah. So projects, that's what's happening. Yes.
Oh, nice. So, what's your dream project? I mean, like, what's that project that you have in mind that you say, if I get here, then Lord take me after this? I mean, if ever there's such a thing as that.
Oh my, you know what? Trust Ngwenya. I'm also a founder of a group or this initiative called Deeper Worship Music,
Mm,
right? And our vision is to lead and inspire generational culture through positive
right,
music and
right,
lifestyles. So
right.
now this is actually divided into three, and we've got like great desire, and I'm praying and I'm working on it and praying that the Lord will give me that.
Mm,
In this deeper worship music, we want to have a, a music university. That's my prayer. I know I come from this tiny teapot like nation, but I believe God, if He's not going to give it to me in my day, but I pray that the people who come after me may be able to really bring it to come to pass. We want a university which is going to allow African or our people to really learn music and learn like how to worship the Lord and all those things. So that's one like part of the project. And then also we want to record albums. I want to record live. I'm just a lover of live sessions. I
right.
love to be in the moment and have people, like just worship together with me. Want to record those. And also we want to have like a studio, a big studio. We want to where we are going
Yes.
to give musicians an opportunity to actually express themselves and print those beautiful songs that are going to inspire even generations that are going to come after us. Because my desire is that our lives or what we do now may be able to inspire the generations that come after us. And so if those things, I'll be great. I'll be good. I'll be good. Yes.
Wow. Yeah, you said a lot of things in your dream. I'm now asking God, God, give me that same dream as well. But I know there's no thing as stealing other people's dreams. But I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have been inspired by what you have just said. But just to go back to the comments, if you joined us late, just to reiterate when we started the interview, if you joined us late and you're wondering where is Maria, I am Maria. No, I'm just kidding. No, Maria. But I'm standing in for Maria Adonis Rusike. She was not able to come on today, but thank you for standing with me as we all actually interview our Minister Trust Ngwenya. So then we have Christina George, sorry, Christine Georgina Malinga. She says, yes, I'm greeting all of you. So Nonkumbulo Adonis Maduna says, I like the way you say my name. That's for another time. And then Setina Mandiwe, she's greeting us. And then we've got, you have to forgive me if there's a comment I saw. Actually, it was a question. Yes, here it is. It says, what drives us to worship? If you can answer that one quickly so that we move on to the next question. So this was Inspire Nations asking the question, what drives us to worship?
All right, in the simplest and shortest answer that I can give, it is it's in response to him. It's in response to what he has done and who he is in our lives. So that actually is the driving force. Like we respond to his love, to his goodness, to who he is, the father that he is, and all that. So he saved us. Come on, he heals us. He neither sleeps nor slumbers over us. So I'm telling you, we've got every reason to. You know how he defends you from some things. When you're sleeping, you're flat out, and the enemy seeks to attack you, and he comes through and he just stands by the door and he says, "No ways, this is my God." So I think we have, our response to his love and to his greatness.
Yeah,
I think that's short,
actually,
right?
yeah. Thank you, thank you. I'm sure you've answered Inspire Nations on that, and actually, the same Inspire Nations actually they say this is their wish for you. They say, "May God grant you your heart's desires, Minister." So,
Thank you.
and then the next question from Inspire Nations is, do you have a music academy? Tell us.
Yes. I currently run a small scale music academy right here in Zimbabwe, Harare. So what I do, I teach piano, I teach vocals, I teach drums, and I teach guitar. So I have students come in as individuals and I actually teach them from as young. I think the youngest student that I've had was 5 years old. And the oldest one, I don't know how old they were. I didn't ask. So yeah, but now I do teach and have a small academy here. Yes.
Oh, wow, wonderful. So I'll just dive in straight to the questions, seeing that we have less time remaining.
Yes.
I'm sure people wouldn't want to leave us while we're talking to ourselves. So
Okay.
tell us, what's your fondest, strongest memory from the time you started in the music industry?
My phone is. Oh yes. Oh yes. There was this time we were teenagers, and my fondest moment. When I met you guys. When I met you, and when I had Onkosana Dube, Mandla, there's Nobo, there's Samu Bebe,
Yes.
and there's Nomaswazi Matobela.
Yes.
There was Jester, Indebele, yes. There was Kwelani Liwayo. Yes. Like the days when we started our team, when we were doing Praise Unlimited, and also the youth choir that we had. Those were the best times. I was inspired by how we managed to really get a hold of a whole lot of young people, even through the ministry that we were doing, and how we got to grow together. How we grew during those days, and also the encounters that we had with the Lord. When we were with the prophet Vesi, those were my fondest ministry days, because I remember during those days there was no day we would minister and the Lord would not show up. He would always show up. Wow. Always. I remember even this other day when Pastor Colin Yati from Harvest House International, he came to our church, and then we wrote this song. You know the song, I Surrender?
Yes.
I Surrender.
Yes.
Do you know that song was written during the conference and everyone joined in? and it became more like an anthem.
Yeah.
And oh my word, it was just, yeah, amazing. I think, yeah, there are just too many fun moments, but they emanate from during those times, 2000 and something, going forward, those were the times when ministry was just like it's another level. I think the Lord was introducing us to things, and it was just, yeah, yes.
Wow.
And okay, I talk a lot. I think I talk a lot like
No,
you.
just say what you're saying. You wanted to
You
say.
know, it was so it was so inspiring when we were young,
Mm,
when out here, Okoko, the grandmothers coming and saying, when you're ministering, that the Lord healed me, the Lord made me better. Even the people I least expected, they'll come in and tell you of the stuff that the Lord was doing in their lives as you minister. When it comes from an old person, you know that it's a show word. These days we've got people who just will pump you up, for nothing when there is nothing, or pump you up just because they want something from you, you know. But during those
yes.
days, we knew that when they said it for real. And those were the days. We saw healings. We saw God deliver people. We saw God save people. It was
Mm,
just, yeah, those were
wow.
the best ministry days. Yes.
Mm, wow.
Yeah.
So, from those experiences, I'm sure you can give us a piece of advice. What's your advice to other ministers like me who are watching and are learning from this interview? Please teach us, our sensei.
Oh my word. All right. One thing that I would say, I think
Mm,
that's one thing that has kept me till today.
mm,
Never forget your first encounter with the Lord.
mm,
Never forget your first love.
mm,
Always go back to that altar and
mm,
seek out Him. You
mm,
know, it's it. I don't know how the Lord does it, but He always makes it so special. You
mm.
know, that place of encounter, you should always like go back and really, just light those altars, those spaces, and get yourself back there. Don't forget that. You know what we do when we grow and become maybe a bit big, or we feel like we've achieved a lot. We begin to even throw away guys like maybe the guys that I met Mudala or Innocent. I begin to leave Omandla Dube and leave all those other people. You should never leave those people, because they're the people that God gave to you at that point in time for a deliberate reason. And they contributed a lot to bring about the person that you are. So, asingalibali. And also, ebukhoneni bukamlimu, in the presence of the Lord, never leave the presence of the Lord. Always go back, because that's where we draw from. Remember, he says, I am the vine and you're the branches. Without me, you cannot do anything. So we need him every step of the way. Always go back and draw. Don't be disturbed by people around you or stuff that happen around you. Always go back to, like what Ron Kennedy says, I seek the giver and not the gift. Always go back to that giver and find him and find out what is in his heart. I think that is so, so key. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, we could start a church and you could come and preach to us. Hallelujah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. So maybe just to divert a little, what worries you in the music industry or in the worship ministry that you are partaking of? What is there any worry? Actually, let me not say what worries you. Maybe there's nothing that worries you, but is there any worry that may try and that you may encounter, that you may want to tell us about in the music ministry and music industry?
Worship. Okay. I think, especially I'm talking about like what I've observed, about worshipers sometimes, you know, uh, you know, if we do not, like from some who do not like take some time to really stay in the presence of the Lord, what we end up doing and what we do most of the times is just act before the people of the Lord. It really is worrying that, you know, some people no longer understand what worship really is. And you discover that even some of the songs that we sing, you know, they're actually not there. And sometimes, you know, it ceases to be worship when you sing the song because you heard it somewhere and it was just like, I know, it's so nice, you know, so let me just sing it, you know, and things like that. And then we fail to really have that first encounter or understand where the Lord is and what He's ministering even to yourself about that song. So I get worried when even us as worshippers can't stay in the presence of the real presence of the Lord. I've heard, you know, you work with a lot of musicians, you see a lot of them, and you can see how most of us have become fake. You know, I can fake crying to you. You know, like people have become so much of actors. Someone can just cram a line from what he heard someone else and just say it to you. You know, so you know, like how the world is somehow creeping into the world, into the church. I actually get worried sometimes about even such things. Those are some of the things that worry me. But I pray that the Lord would raise up even people like you. You know, like I admire ministry, by the way. I really do admire it. You know, I do. Yes. I admire the genuineness of the ministry and so many that I've seen, you know, come through even in the program. So I pray that God would raise up even more worshippers who are so genuine and who understand why they're doing what they're doing and do it like just to the point of where the Lord wants it done. So yeah, my worry is that.
Wow. You know, I know time is actually gone past by, but can I just give you two more questions and then we we I know such nice things are not nice to end. It's
Yeah.
so what's the legacy that you aspire to leave for the world that's watching, for the people that are watching, or for the world that may watch this video and actually uh, actually like you know would want to learn even after we were long gone.
Okay. I want, like, this is what I would love people to say. You know, I won't be there, of course. You know, I want them to say, there lies a man who loves the Lord with all his heart and who inspired generations through his music and through the way that he lived. That's my desire, my prayer. Yes.
Wow.
So
So is there anything you feel you don't want to die before doing?
there's a lot at the moment, really. There's a
Mm,
lot. I still want to minister. I feel the energy. I want to minister to the world. I want to write songs. I believe there's still a whole lot of songs on the inside that have to be written and that have to be heard by the world. I believe that there are so many worshippers that I need to really get a hold of, or musicians, and help out and inspire. And I need to support other people. You know, there's so much that I feel I still need to do. Yeah, there's a lot.
yeah,
Yes. The university, yes.
yeah.
The list
So
is long.
yeah, trust. You know what? I could have asked, gone on and asked you questions. You know, but actually, I want to leave the very last. I want you to lead us out with a worship song. But before you do so, let me go back to the comments and also just say my goodbyes and then leave you to lead us out in worship. So, we've got Inspire Nations. They say, let me see. Let me start from where. Oh, okay. So it started from the song. The song you mentioned, I Surrender. Yeah. So Setina Mandivei says, yes, we can hear the song. And Inspire Nations has got probably the most comments. And they're saying, so inspirational, never forget your first love, always go back to the altar. I mean, there's a lot that you were actually speaking. So those who came in late, please, I'll encourage you to rewatch this broadcast and hear and learn from my brother Trust what he actually had to say. So the last, we've got Rudo in the house. Rudo, Luna. She says we need to discern true worship. So we'll not speculate on who Rudo Luna is, but you know. So Rudo goes on to say, may God raise more genuine worshippers. So may God open doors for those desires, Trust. So that's
Thank you.
so. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the interview, Inspire Nations Radio 54 Panorama. Thank you so much for joining, and I know probably we need to do a series. They should be part 2 or part 3 of us interviewing Trust Ngwenya on his journey in the worship ministry, what he has contributed in the music industry in Zimbabwe, what we know, what we don't know. But for today, I'll give out my shout out. Thank you, Inspire Nations, for allowing me to interview Trust, and hope you consider me for the job. Right. So let me not say much. Trust, lead us out in a song.
When I remember what the Lord has done, I will never go back anymore. When I remember what the Lord has done, I will never go back anymore. No, 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 I will never go back anymore. Oh, no, 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 I will never go back anymore. Uma ngikhumbula okweti wenkosi angisoze ngabuyele oh uma ngikhumbula okweti wenkosi angisoze ngabuyele Thank you so much. Thank you.